Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing well. In today's video, I'll be sharing my tips which help me get a flawless makeup base. If you're thinking, what do I mean about makeup base? Well, today I'm going to be showing you my tips for skin prep before makeup, as well as how to put on foundation, concealer and contour. Basically, I'm going to show you how I prep this canvas for my eyeshadow, eyebrows and lips. The tips today will be more aimed towards dry and sensitive skin, but along the way I will be including tips for oily skin as well. I hope you enjoy this video and find my tips helpful and learn something new to add to your everyday makeup routine. Please subscribe if you haven't and like this video if you enjoy it. It would mean a lot to me as you're supporting my makeup career and growing my YouTube channel. But that's enough rambling, let's get on into the video. Now my hair's up, and yes, I have already started my first step. You might have seen this in my other videos. I'm using an under eye patch, specifically the Jake Jamie Watermelon Extract Hydrating Patches. I don't use eye patches every day, I have them more as a luxury item or like a feel-good item, but there are a lot of benefits of why you should use them before doing your makeup. They're hydrating, which looks after your under eye skin, as well as allowing makeup to go on smoother. If you have the largest size on the inner corner of your eyes, it will target dark circles and puffiness and make you look more awake. If you have the larger size on the outer corner, it will still be hydrating your skin, but it'll be more focused around the wrinkles, like your smile lines, for example. You usually leave these on for about 10 minutes, but unless you get distracted, like I do sometimes. It's been about 10 minutes, so I'm going to take them off. After taking them off, I rub in the excess oils into my skin. My next tip for a perfect base is serum, and in particular hyaluronic acid. Hyaluronic acid helps plump your skin and lock in moisture all day. It's good to use it in morning routines and evening routines. The reason I put it on before my makeup is because it nourishes the skin and it kind of makes a barrier from the wind and the coldness, keeping my skin moisturized and, like I said, locking in that moisture. What I do is I take a few drops on my hand and then I rub it in the skin. Place this all around my skin. I don't rub it in fully. I then take my rose quartz. This rose quartz helps for depuffing and shaping and structuring the face. It does this by removing toxins from your skin to remove the puffiness. So I do it in stages. First we go under the eye, pushing in an outwards motion to release those toxins from your skin, reducing puffiness. And I push out the toxins on my cheekbones. Doing so will help the structure of my face, shaping in the cheekbones so they are more defined. Next step, I go along my jaw, same process, pushing out the toxins, and then lastly out through the head. Remove those toxins. The initial benefits of using a rose quartz and pushing the toxins out your skin is to reduce puffiness and even redness, as the quartz is quite cold and cooling to your skin, which can calm your irritated skin down. The long-term benefits of using a rose quartz means that you can add more structure and shape to the face. As you can see, I've been using it now for a couple of months and I believe my cheekbones are more defined. If you look straight on, you can see them there, and that's with no makeup. Next step is moisturizer. I take this 2-in-1 moisturizing serum, apply 2 pumps to my hand, and then rub it into the entire face and neck, but I avoid the eye area. I will explain in a bit why I avoid this area. This moisturizer is great for AM and PM routines, and you should be moisturizing your face both morning and evening. This is to hydrate skin, nourish skin, repair it. Question for you, have you ever had your foundation go patchy? I can put a picture on screen so you can see. This is because your foundation, or whatever makeup it is sucking out the moisture from your skin. If you have these barriers like hyaluronic acid and moisturizer, it means your skin's more nourished and this foundation won't be able to suck up the moisture from your actual skin as much, and it will sit on a lot more evenly and look a lot more smooth. That's the reason for putting on all these products. So earlier before we didn't moisturize the under eye, and this is because the skin is a lot thinner, a lot more sensitive, and if you put a heavy moisturizer on, it can affect the skin. For example, have you ever had little bubbles underneath your eyes? That's because you are putting a moisturizer which is too heavy. That's why we leave that part, but then we go in with an eye cream. This one is a CeraVe eye cream. It repairs and focuses on dark circles. Taking a small amount, I apply it on both eyes. One of the final stages of skin prep, and that is SPF. This one's One Day Sans, very high, SPF 50. So you should always take more sun cream than you actually think, because you really need to get a good coating so you don't get any skin damage from the sun. The reason for SPF is to protect your face from the skin, so you don't get sunspots, so you don't get burn, and so you don't get wrinkles. Basically, so you can look younger for longer. The thing that most people forget is don't actually put an SPF on in the winter, but in the winter it's more likely for you to get burnt as the sun is higher up in the sky and the beams down more. If you've ever been skiing or snowboarding or even seen people get back with burnt cheeks, that is because of the high sun and then the sun reflecting on the snow and which reflects on the face. The thing to remember about sun cream is it does expire. All products expire, but with sun cream is once it's expired, then the protectants that it have in it is no longer protects your skin. On to the very last step of skin prep, and I am going in with a lip mask. I love the way it feels, it's so nourishing, and it really helps get rid of those dry, cracked lips. Those are the steps that I complete to prep my skin. You might think it's overboard or overkill, and I thought that at the beginning, but having a great skin prep routine really helps your makeup stay in put and look good for the entire day. So yes, I do look shiny and quite glowy right now, so I do let this all dry down before I jump into my makeup. Now that that's dried down, let's crack on with the makeup. So first step is primer. Reasons to prime is it helps your makeup last longer throughout the day, and each primer has many different benefits. Today I'm using the e.l.f. Mint Melt Primer. 2 squirts on my hand, rub it in my fingers, and then space it out around my face. Once I do that, I then rub it in. The reason I use this primer is I find that it's hydrating and it's tacky, which helps the foundation stick to my skin. There may be other things you want to focus on when priming your skin. For example, this is a poreless primer, so if you have large pores or are self-conscious about your pores, you're able to put that on before your primer, and then it will help smooth on the foundation. You can even double up on primers, so if there's areas which you have large pores on, you can stick a poreless primer on, or if you have areas which you have redness and you want hydrating, you can go in with a different primer which I just showed you before. A tip about primers and foundation, as foundation is our next step. So today I'm using the L'Oreal Infallible foundation, and obviously I use the Mint Melt Primer. Looking on the ingredients, the first ingredient is water, so they're both water-based. There are normally 2 types of products you get water-based and you get oil-based. You shouldn't mix oil and water, as if you've ever done a science experiment, you try and mix the 2 and they just don't mix together. If you do use an oil primer and then a water-based foundation, or vice versa, this could mean your makeup separates, which doesn't look good and doesn't look as smooth. So always check the ingredients before you apply. So let's go in with the foundation. I take a few squirts from the back of my hand, and then I go in and apply with a brush. First, I distribute the product around my face. Otherwise, if I go in one area continuously, I will just continue in that area, and then I need more product to fill the rest of the face. Doing this method helps me get more of an even coverage. So I mainly use a foundation brush to blend in my foundation. This one's from Morphe. It's the M439 if you're wondering. Reason I do this is higher coverage. It doesn't suck up foundation like a makeup sponge does. More hygienic because the brushes are easier to clean than a sponge. And lastly, it's just easier and quicker, and I haven't got the effort to bounce a sponge on my face all the time. You can also see I'm tapping the product in and I'm not swiping, because if I swipe I'm dragging the skin, moving the makeup around and actually getting more of the makeup in the bristles than I am on the face. So if you do pull, you can sometimes see the streaks in the foundation. If we talk about the foundation for the moment, this is a medium to full coverage foundation. I'm going for a more medium look today as I'm trying to focus on my everyday routine. This is a hydrating foundation and it might not always be best for an oily skin. You may prefer a mattifying foundation. I recommend the Maybelline 30 Hour Wear foundation. I do like this one, but sometimes I find it a bit drying. This foundation is more full coverage, so I do like to wear it in the evenings, but during the daytime I prefer the L'Oreal as it's more lightweight and hydrating for my skin. My next step in my routine is normally concealer. Today I will be using the Revolution Eye Bright Concealer. This concealer contains vitamin C and is really nourishing for the skin, so it helps look after the sensitive skin underneath the eyes. I believe this is light to medium coverage, but if you did want a more fuller coverage, the e.l.f. Camo Concealer is very good. So I go in and place it under the eye. Sometimes I do only place the concealer in the inner corner and the outer corner, but as it is a lighter coverage, I apply it all under the eye so I can cover those eye bags. I place it in this kind of triangle upwards, so then it does pull my face upwards and look more snatched. Then apply it to my chin as I want it to be more prominent, just under my cheekbones and in the middle of my forehead. So a concealer is normally lighter than your foundation, and when you highlight parts on your face, you want it to make it look bigger and broader out. Whereas contour, you're adding shading, making it look darker, so that means you want that part of the face to look a lot smaller. As I said, this is light to medium coverage, therefore I leave it on a bit to help it stick to the skin, making it fuller coverage. So while this is setting, I do go in with the contour. I am using this Fenty Beauty Matchsticks in the shade Mocha. So for my face shape, it's quite round. I want it to look more longer and a lot more structured. I contour the top of the forehead, but I leave a gap in the middle so it looks a look longer. If you wanted a more shorter face, I would attach this because then it will make the entire forehead look a lot smaller. Then do my cheekbones, like quite sculpted, so I do pull them down, whereas some people like to cut them off to make their cheeks look a lot fuller. Same on the other side. And then I add a contour on the jawlines and then I'll blend it underneath. So now the product is on the skin, I actually start from the bottom and work up and blend it out. Again, using a brush. So as you can see here with this contour, pulling it down to create that shadow to get rid of the double chin. And then the highlighter part where the concealer is makes it look a bit snatched, so it pulls the face up. As I'm blending this out, I just wanted to know, do you guys have any makeup tips? How do you get your flawless base? What helps you in your everyday routine? I would love to know, so please let me know down in the comments if you have any tips. Okay, and now blending in the contour above the head. I'm pushing it out. I'm not blending it downwards because I don't want to make my forehead look too small. Just going out into the hairline. Dabbing and not dragging. Again, I didn't mention it, but as I was blending out the cheekbones, I was lifting it up and not pulling it around. When you're blending your contour, you don't want to be rubbing, smearing, you want to be tapping. You want to keep it quite precise as you want certain areas to be shaded. You don't want your contour on your cheek, for example. To add structure and more shape to my face, I go in with some blush. So again, round face, want to look snatched. So I literally apply the blush above my cheekbone. For me, I love a peachy tone. I do take a different brush when blending my blush. Take an angled brush which sits on the cheek and I blend it in upwards again. Blending it upwards to create that snatch look. Again, tapping and not swiping as I don't want those streaks on my face. See, and if you look here, adding that blush just pulls it up a bit more. Blush can change the shape of your face in many ways, and there's many different styles of wearing blush. So today I've gone for the more snatched and I've pulled my cheeks up. You can go for a more youthful look, as they say, and apply the blush to the upper use of your cheek, so then it will draw more attention there. Or another cute trend that's going around at the moment is a sunburn blush. So you apply blush across your cheeks, around your nose, and all across, and then you got a cute little red mark there. The reason I love cream products is because how easily it blends and how the products all fit in together. I find if I use powders and creams together, the powders can get patchy and stick to certain parts of the cream on my face, and then I don't get the smooth kind of blend that I want. But if I use all cream products, I get a smoother blend. So I have got a lot of liquid and cream products on my skin. Yes, it feels very nourishing, but at the same time I can feel it moving and maybe setting into the creases as I talk and smile. So what I want to do, I want to set these. I am going in with the Maybelline Fit Me Matte Poreless setting powder. I take a powder brush and powder and dab it in. And then I do tap off the excess, as I don't want to be putting loads of powder on my skin, and I don't want it to be the powder going into the creases. I then push the powder on. I just focus on the areas I want to be set, where I've mainly put concealer or where I do have these fine lines where the makeup could crease. I don't apply the powder like this everywhere, as I don't want my skin to feel dry, but at the same time I do want it mattified, so I do spread the product out. I do take a fluffy brush and pick up some of the product, again tapping off the excess, and then lightly putting it on my face. My makeup is now set using that powder, which means I can put on powders on top and it will blend more smoothly instead of getting stuck to the liquid products I've used. So I am going in to bronze my skin with a Doll Beauty bronzer. You may be thinking, what is the difference between bronzer and contour? Yeah, can't tell you. I don't know. Just kidding. So contour is to structure your face, to give that snatch. Bronzer is more about where would the sun hit your face when you're out and about. Where would you get a tan first? Bronzer just makes it look like you have seen the sun in your lifetime. It can help you pretend that it's not winter anymore. So my tip for this is taking a bit of product and then tapping off the excess, because you don't want to be going in with lots of products. You want to go in with a little bit of product and then build, because if you put more product on, then you can't take it off as easier. Whereas if you put less product on, you can build it up and create the look that you want. Most people would get the brush and then just start rubbing. But again, that can be messy. You're not in control. The bronzer can go anywhere, and you want to apply it on places that you would like. As with the contour, you may have seen, it's the shape of a 3. This is normally where the sun would hit your face and the places you want to bronze, but you want it more dispersed than you do with the contour, because the contour is about defining those cheekbones, but the bronzer is about more adding the shadow into where the sun would hit your face. I like to start on the cheekbones, as that's the most prominent defined part of my face, and then I go onto the forehead and under the jawline. So I just tap this product on. As you can see, not that much is going on, but I am building it. You can see the difference, slowly building up. Then I go up to the forehead. You may be thinking this isn't blended properly, but I will be going in with a different brush to blend it out a bit more, so it looks a bit more natural. So I am just doing one side first, because I want to show you the difference of how it looks. Here you can see the cheekbones defined, but above is just blush, whereas now on this side I've got a more bronzy look. But at the same time you can see there's a white streak and it's not blended as much. So I don't want to go in and I don't want to blend with this brush, as I will make my face look muddy. So I am going to take the fluffy brush we were using before, and at the same time just grabbing a little translucent powder, tapping off the excess. The reason I put more powder on it is because if the brush was clean, I am just moving my makeup around my face and not blending. Upwards motion to keep the snatchness. Cool. And I am now happy with the blending, and I will just go do the other side off camera and I'll be back. We are on the last few steps of the base, and one of my favourite parts is highlighter. Today I'm taking the Revolution highlighter in the shade Raise the Bar. So I take a smaller brush. I don't want to take a larger brush. In the past I used to use fan brushes, which can be quite large. The largest one I have is like this, but using a large brush means that it can go everywhere, but you want to just highlight a few places of your face. So we like to go on the top of your cheekbone. Highlighter again makes those places look bigger, more prominent. That's why I love doing the Cupid's bow, as this makes my top lip look a lot bigger. And then the top of the nose and the bridge of the nose, this just draws in the eye. There we have it, the highlighter is done. So I do usually use setting spray after I completed all my makeup, but I wanted to complete my base all in one go. So you normally see me just spray it all around my face. That's good, nothing wrong with that. Didn't think there was. But I have a tip or a little hack, which I did find on TikTok. So beauty blender, setting spray, spray that beauty blender with squeeze. I am using the setting spray from NYX. This is the dewy one. And then I just push that setting spray into the skin. Setting spray helps combine those powders and creams that you put on before, making it just look like one finished base. Applying the spray like this does mean you're directing the spray on those areas that you want and is actually pushing those liquid and powder products together. So this is how I do my makeup base. For you to be able to judge properly, I need to go finish off the rest of my makeup, but I'm going to do that off camera. So I'll be back very soon. I'm back with the rest of my makeup done and my hair done. Feeling cute, loving the look, but that's not what we're here for. Let's have a look at that base. Overall, I feel really snatched, nice and hydrated. I mean, I can't comment much because this is what I do every day. These are my tips. What do you think? Is there any tips that you can include in your makeup routine? Or is there anything that I've missed? Do you have any tips for me? I would love to know. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up. And if you want to see more makeup tips, subscribe to my channel and there'll be more to come. In the future, I could do tips to the perfect cut crease. Thank you for sticking around to the end of the video. Please like and subscribe to see more of me. Remember, every Tuesday at 6 there'll be a new video. Bye, see you in my next one.